Oh, it's a whole lot different from Campbell. Yeah, I'm getting better at it.
Welcome, everyone. Let's call the meeting to order. If y'all would stand, I'd ask Council Brakefield if you lead us in prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this time. I thank you that we're able to come together and serve you and serve this town at the same time. I pray that you'll be in every decision that we make tonight, and that the decisions that we make bring light and glory to your kingdom, God. And I pray these things in your name.
Amen.
Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
John Ketcher,
Here.
Troy Shropshire,
Here.
Dennis Nance, Steve Smith,
Here.
Randy Chitwood,
Here.
Brianna Brakefield,
Here.
Jimmy Trammell,
Here.
Yolanda Thompson. Here.
Item 2, petitions from the audience. I don't believe there are any tonight. Item 3, department head reports. Building inspector. No report. Emergency management. No report. Fire department. He told me he was going to be late getting here tonight. Golf course. No report. Library. Recognize Ms. Carrie Rarick.
I gave you guys way more information than you probably want, but I was doing this anyway, so I thought I would just share. So you have, it's our yearly statistics from when I started. Actually, it's the year before I started until this last fiscal year that we just ended. And I did fun graphs so you can see like the ups and downs. I don't have a business background, so interpreting a lot of these things is not really my forte, but it does seem to, our trends in Pryor seem to match the trends across the nation with other libraries, where our library card numbers are up and climbing, our digital resources are being used a lot more, and a lot of our physical resources are not being used as much. So I feel pretty comfortable with what our data shows as far as what nationwide and statewide what the libraries are doing. And you don't have to analyze all of it. I just
Thank you for the data.
had it.
That's good data. Thank you for doing that.
And some of these things, some of the statistics that we have, we didn't start counting. They weren't being counted before I got here, and we didn't start counting until sometimes after I was here for a while. But they do help on our statistical reporting to the state, which goes to the national level as well.
Material checkouts went way down, hasn't it?
And that's a trend
That's a trend.
all across the nation.
But if you go to the internet, it's not up 50%, right?
Right, but if you look at Overdrive and our ebooks, which is that yellow one, the yellow one is up a lot.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, yeah, it has been. Okay.
Yeah, and then our questions answered, our door count's going down, but people have a lot more questions for us, which is awesome. And we do count email questions and phone call questions, so they don't necessarily have to come into the building in order for us to answer their questions, or to help them find resources. But yeah, and even our library card numbers are, like this last fiscal year, we had 900 new library cards. And our highest one before that was just over 1,000 in the 14-15 fiscal year. So we're getting close to being back to that level with new library cards, which is kind of neat in a town of less than 10,000, that we're still getting that number of new library cards.
The slump was pandemic, so there's no
Some of that,
control
yeah.
over that, yeah.
Yeah, some of that it was. It'll be interesting to see in the next coming years how things change and progress as things get kind of back to normal. You guys have any other questions for me? Great, thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Parks and Cemetery. No report tonight. Police Department. No report. Thank you, James. Rec Center. Recognize Ms. Jessica Long.
I didn't really have anything. I just wanted to mention real quickly in case, we had a late board meeting this month, so unless you read it in the paper, just wanted to tell you, we had 246 new members last month for June, which is by far, I think the biggest before that was the month of May with 160, and then other than that, it was like 60 or 80.
So definitely a big increase this summer, so that's kind of where our attention's been focused, is just on the number of people coming through the door and taking care of all those things, so. Did you all have any questions for me?
Lots of smiles coming through the door
Lots of smiles, yeah, lots of,
and leaving.
trying to keep them happy, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, back to the police. Did we have an officer get an award?
I'm sorry?
Did we have an officer receive some kind of national award
Next week they'll get it. So
next week?
on that.
Oh, so you're gonna do that?
Yeah, they'll get it next week, so we'll
Yep.
go after he gets it pretty back and
Okay, cool.
Very good. We don't want to miss those.
No.
Absolutely. Street Department, and no report tonight. Move to item 4, Mayor's Report. Item A, discussion possible action regarding removing from the table item 5B from the June 15, 2021 City Council meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Shropshire, second Smith. Discussion. Hearing none, call for vote.
Ketchum,
Yes?
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item B, discussion possible action regarding approval of an addition to the Emergency Center Library Expansion Project to include a museum room for the purpose of preservation and display of the famous Bill Rabbit painted pony and other Native American art. The addition, estimated to cost $605,781, would be funded via the City Pryor Creek 2019 Bond Fund. Is there a motion?
Make that motion?
Motion Chitwood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Shropshire. Thank you. I do have new information for you. I'm going to pass these around. I'd ask Mr. Graber if you'd come to the microphone and give a report on the updated estimate.
Did you get that in your hands? As you know, we have gone through 4 iterations of this design, starting out with a $600,000, and with a lot of help from Willowbrook, the contractors, reviewing their prices, and us going through and changing the plans where we could without destroying the whole design. We have a new price that I think is well within what was discussed last time. And we'll still have a nice, excuse me, a nice building with a little bit less glass and a little bit different finishes inside. But we'll get it in there and we'll get it within that budget.
So the new estimate is at $397,018.80.
Where's that at? Where's that on this sheet?
It's right on.
Right?
Third page?
Third page over.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
And then the following pages then are the breakdowns of all of those different items that you find on that master format.
I just want to say thanks for the hard work and the diligence you worked to get this done. So I'd like to make a motion to amend the amount to 390, I would say not to exceed 400,000, okay?
Yeah.
And I would like to also add that to part of the money, for the money to come from the, I think at one time we talked about part of the money coming from the 05 fund, the COVID money. We was gonna use phase 1 and phase 2, if I remember right. I think we probably had about 195,000, if I asked Brianna or something. And then take the balance of that from the bond money. And then that's from those 2 accounts, whatever those accounts are. But then on the other side of that equation, I would ask that, and that's part of that we get with, and ask the mayor to get with Mr. Ritchie, okay? Because we all know that this, when you look at this thing, that $400,000 is not going to get this adequately support what we really want the end result to be. So if we modify the resolution, the original resolution, the resolution for the tax, and add the library onto that, that would give the library people a sense of security that it was gonna be. we didn't use the Saratoga Club, and we may or may not be able to do that, but this way, if we added that to that resolution, you know, the projects, this project, that resolution, if we can, and then add that to put the part of there, then if we can, then this would give the library board and the people like, and give us the opportunity that eventually we'll get that $700,000 what it costs to do it right and make it a museum. That's what I'd like to see done. And I don't know, you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Mayor? Or did I just go too wordy?
I think I was able to follow most of what you said, Mr. Trammell. If I could try to regurgitate what you said, and perhaps get it in the form of a motion that we can consider. You would like to amend the amount to not to exceed $400,000,
Correct.
and that you would like to fund the project via the 05 fund and the bond fund.
Yes,
Is that?
that is correct. That is correct, yes. But I'd also like to see if Mr. Ritchie, and this may be something on the other, on the
Okay.
outside of this, to resolution, if we can do that at one time.
Yeah, it was a resolution.
So you can-
You could amend the resolution, or you could pass a new resolution.
Either way, but I'd like to see it done just because what I heard was from Mr. Hardy and Kerry and some other people in the community was that, you know, we passed a bond election a long time ago, and they didn't get their building. So they felt uncomfortable, they may not get it. They said, well, if you don't do this, so let's give them a little bit of sense of security that they're gonna get the whole thing eventually when the money comes available. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm after this thing.
So what we would be voting on tonight
Yes.
would be this floor plan, this plan that you have in front of you, and funded as he has said, not to exceed $400,000 to fund via the 05 fund and the bond fund.
Now, when we say the 05 fund, we've already agreed to put part of the 05 fund as for phase 1 and phase 2 of North Elliott Street, yes.
Of the Salt Branch
Yeah.
Creek drainage
Don't wanna take that.
improvements, so
Yeah.
we've already
This is-
committed
That's right.
some of that.
Yeah, so this would be anything above that, yes, that's my motion,
You're wanting to expend the rest of the 05 fund toward this.
yes, at this point in time, correct,
That's what I thought you said.
that's what I said.
It sounds convoluted over here. I feel like a pinochle game, a little shell game. I'm trying to keep track of all this. So we told him to shave off money.
Yes,
He shaved off money, but now you want to do some kind of magic to get for that, and then pull some extra money all the way to put it right back up to that original dollar amount?
no, I don't wanna do that, not right now, not right now, no.
Before it to just sit there for them to use at a later date?
No, well, right now, we're just gonna approve the $400,000, okay?
Then why do we need to go through this other about taking money from,
So that other part of the conversation, so he didn't put the period at the end of the sentence. He continued the sentence to include the other things that was in his mind about that.
why
Did
can't
I
we
say
just
that
keep
right?
it, why can't we keep it simple right now? And go with the lower amount out of the bond and not worry about this other crap?
Because I don't
Till we
think,
come
but
to it?
my own personal opinion is that I'm scared to death, this is me, okay? I'm scared to death that right now, the police and fire station, we got $9 million in our account. We got about a $1 million, we're about $11 million. We don't have enough money at this point in time to fully fund the police and fire station and library. I'm scared to death, I think we will have, but I want to take part of it out of this at this point in time. That's why I'm doing that, Mr. Catcher.
You think you will have, but then you're
I
scared
know,
you won't.
I know we will have, but it's gonna take a while to get there. Done. It's like, you gotta move money around. In municipal finance, sometimes you have to do a shell game to get to where you wanna go. So,
So basically, what you're wanting to do is take remainder of the money from the COVID or the CARES Act, put it toward this project, and then the money that we need to come up to the 400,000 would come out of the bond money.
that's correct. And we have more CARES Act money coming if we wanna do it on drainage later on. We got more money coming there, so that's what I wanna do.
So there's just a few things that I need to comment on. First of all, the person that made the motion on the agenda item would need to be the one who amended the motion to say 400,000 instead of the 600,000, and then we'd have to have an amendment on that second. so that it was properly done. The next thing is, I think that would qualify under the COVID funds. Have you looked at that?
Well, the first phase, yes, it would qualify under the first phase of COVID funds.
It does qualify under,
It does qualify,
yeah,
yes.
it does qualify.
All right, so we're good there. The last thing would be that we can't vote to amend that resolution here.
I agree.
And we can't vote to pass a new resolution here because it's not an agenda item.
Right.
That's throwing that out.
So that would not be part of the action that was taken tonight on the motion, if you so choose to amend it to a 400 max, okay? On the resolution, I mean, obviously, we can talk about that later when it's a proper agenda item. If some of you were on the council when we did all of that, what we were doing with the resolution is that we had taken public input on trying to determine what priority projects were to be used, to use the money on. We wanted to be very careful so that legally we weren't locked into saying if we provide a list of contracts, we've got or a list of projects that we're then obligated to do those. So rather than doing an ordinance or including anything like that in the ballot language, we simply adopted a resolution that listed some projects and said that these are the ones that should get priority in our evaluation, but it didn't exclude going ahead and doing other projects. So we can address that should you decide to try to vote a new resolution or to amend that resolution, but that is not something you'd be voting on tonight.
Can I ask a question, right quick, clarification?
Sure.
If we vote to move to amend this to 400,000, the agenda item says come from bond money. Can we do it, amend that to come from this at the same time?
Yes,
Can we make one, can we one amendment?
The source of funds
Could be part of that.
could be part of the
Could
amendment.
be a part of, could be a part of the amendment. And that's, so,
right, so again, as I understand, not to exceed 400,000 and to fund via 05 fund and bond fund.
That's the first vote.
well, I think what Mr. Ritchie's saying is whoever made the motion,
Needs to amend it.
That would be Chitwood
Yeah, that's what
and Shropshire.
I second it.
yes, I amend my motion to not exceed 400,000 with the funds coming from 05 and the bond fund.
And I'll second that.
And second, very good. Other discussion?
I just want to say,
against
I want to say the
including
last thing,
the
I want to
05
say
fund.
thank you to these guys for getting this done. Yeah.
So
Huh?
this was a combined effort, Mr. Graber and from CMS Willowbrook. Thank you, gentlemen, very much for your help. We appreciate it very much. And
Sure.
That's what they claim. I don't know.
other discussion?
Yeah, I'm good with everything except including the 05 fund. So,
All right? Call for a vote, please.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Brianna. sorry,
Yes.
Wakefield, Trammell,
Yes,
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher.
No.
Thank you, motion carries. Tracy? It's a good night. It's a good night.
great night.
And again, my objection was the 05.
Yeah.
Understand. So we'll have work going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for placing us in this position. It's an honor.
Thank you.
We'll move to item 5, City Attorney's Report.
Item A is just an update from city attorney to the council on the status of the Moore et al. Versus City of Pryor, Pryor Public Schools in Mays County case CJ 2020-121. This is a lawsuit that was filed several months ago regarding some homeowners around the high school where all the new construction took place. And they sued the city, they sued the contractor, and they sued the school system for alleged flooding. We filed a motion to dismiss for what's called failure to state a claim, and had a hearing on that couple weeks ago. The motion was sustained, so the city's been dismissed out of it. The school system and the contractor are still in it.
Very good. Thank you for the update. Mr. Ritchie, any questions? Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 6. Discussion possible action on consent agenda. A, approve minutes from July 6, 2021 council meeting. B, approve payroll purchase orders through July 23, 2021. C, approve claims for purchase orders through July 20, 2021. D, acknowledge receipt of deficient purchase orders. E, approve April appropriation request. F, approve June appropriation request. G, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $6,871.20 to iSolved HCM for the annual contract for Time Force 2 from general software account 02-201-5260. H, discussion possible action regarding reappointment of Melinda Marks to seat number 2 of the Park Board, term expiring July 31, 2024. I, discussion possible action regarding reappointment of Chris Graves, seat number 6, the Park Board, term expiring July 31, 2024. J, discussion possible action regarding reappointment of Keith Shelby, seat number 7 of the Park Board, term expiring July 31, 2024. K, discussion possible action regarding updating the wording of attachment 7, separation report in the personnel policy manual. L, discussion possible action regarding updating the wording of section 12-8, bereavement leave in the personnel policy manual. M, discussion possible action regarding updating the wording of section 22-3, group health, dental, and life insurance plan in the personnel policy manual. N, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $3,400 to Equiture DSS Corporation for yearly maintenance agreement for the Pryor Creek Police Department. This is year 4 of a 5-year maintenance agreement with a voice logger from police technology account 02-215-5260. O, discussion possible action regarding hiring Rick Raff for the Recreation Center custodian maintenance position at Range A, Step 1. Pardon me. Annual wage, $27,395. P, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure in the amount of $15,915 to Vermont Systems for Pryor Creek Recreation Center software for July 1, 2021 through June 30, 2022 from Computer Tech support account 84845-5046. Q, discussion of possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $73,680 to OMAG for for property insurance policy PRO 140003306 from general insurance property account 02-201-5045. R, discussion possible action regarding expenditure in the amount of $57,335 to OMAG for general liability auto policy GLA 140001706 from general insurance fleet account 02-201-5043. S, discussion possible action regarding proposal as presented from Coker & Coker Incorporated, including the expenditure of $25,000 for fiscal year ending June 30, 2022 for general outside services accounting account 02-201-5073. T, discussion possible action regarding awarding highest and best sealed bid for 1992 Chevrolet pickup surplus at the October 6, 2020 council meeting to Dick Holmes in the amount of $755. Other bids received: Jared Martin, $700, Gary Anderson, $537, Kenton Unrow, $526, Garrett Ball at $430. These are the items of the consent agenda. Which items would council like to remove? Council chooses to remove no items from consent agenda tonight. First I've witnessed of that.
I just got kicked.
It's a beautiful night.
So we removed the stick and a kick works?
You took work.
All for the vote before we change.
Yes, yes.
Wait, you weren't here at council.
Yeah, you have to,
Oh.
A, you have to pull A off.
You do. You have to
Yep.
pull A off.
Pull off right.
Circled it. I
Sorry.
couldn't remember.
It
Brianna.
wasn't me, though. It wasn't me.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brakefield. All right, very good. So all items except item A. Do I hear a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Motion Catcher, second Smith. Call for vote.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes. Motion carries. I entertain a motion. Item A, approved minutes of July 6, 2021 council meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion Catcher, second Chitwood. Discussion? Call for vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Abstain.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Item 7, committee reports, budget personnel, Ms. Brakefield.
Nothing to really report. Our next meeting is August 10th, 2021, and it's gonna be a big one. We're going over budget.
I would like just to invite everyone to come to that meeting. It's just going to be a lot of fun. A lot of
Can-
fun.
Can you make it an agenda item or whatever? I'm just worried about the Open Meeting Act. If all the different councilmen want to come to that, is there a way that we can allow that to happen?
It just has to post as a special meeting, and all the council members would be paid to attend.
I mean, if they want to come, they can come.
But that's the way to do it, is to
Correct.
post it as a special meeting.
Okay.
Who would call for that? Would Brianna call for that, since she's the chair?
The mayor.
Mayor would
Okay,
call
okay.
for that.
Mayor and
If-
Brianna both.
if we needed to.
Mayor and Brianna both, yeah.
Okay.
Mayor is making notes at this time.
What time she say?
It'll be 5:30.
5:30.
It'll be a 5:30 meeting, and it will not be as quick as this meeting.
No.
It'll be a lot to discuss. Item B, ordinance insurance, Ms. Shropshire.
Nothing at this time.
All right, street, Mr. Smith.
Maybe have a meeting next week, still working on the agenda items.
Very good, thank you. Item 8, unforeseeable business, I know of none.
Motion to adjourn.
Item 9, motion to adjourn,
Second.
Mr. Ketcher. Second, Mr. Smith. Call for vote.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries. We'll now call to order Pryor Public Works Authority. Item 2, approved minutes of June 15, 2021 meeting.
Make that motion.
Motion Smith,
Second.
second Shropshire. Discussion? Call for vote.
Brakefield,
Yes.
Trammell,
Yep.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chitwood,
Yes.
Item 3, discussion possible action regarding an expenditure of $4,000 to Grand Gateway Economic Development Association for the annual membership for fiscal year 2022 from Pryor Public Works Authority dues, Grand Gateway account 88-885-5349. Is there a motion?
Motion. I'll second.
Motion Chitwood, motion Shropshire, second Chitwood. Discussion. Hearing none, call for vote.
Trammell,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 4, unforeseeable business, I know of none. And adjourn is on the menu and on the agenda, and according to Robert's Rules of Order, because it's on the agenda, it does not need to have action.
That's fact. That is a fact.
Unless Mr. Ketcher would like to.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, Ketcher, is there a second? Second, Smith. Call for vote.
Thompson,
Yes.
Ketcher,
Yes.
Shropshire,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Chipwood,
Yes.
Wakefield,
Yes.
Trammell.
Yes.
We're adjourned, motion
Hey,
carries.
Kim, I have a question.
Question.